So you're prepping for your secretarial practice exam and you've hit chapter 6. It can feel a little daunting, right? Well, don't worry, you're in exactly the right place. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down everything you need to know about corresponding with members so you can absolutely ace this part of your exam. Let's get right into it. Just think about it for a second. A big company might have thousands, maybe even millions of shareholders. And these people, they're the actual owners. So how in the world does a company's secretary, who's the main link between the management and all these owners, talk to everyone at once, effectively, and most importantly, legally? The answer is through really well-crafted correspondence, and that's exactly what we're going to master today. Here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the fundamental rules. Then, we'll look at the specific times you need to write these letters. We're going to really zoom in on two of the most common exam questions, the dividend letter and the bonus share letter. And to finish up, we'll run through a quick checklist to make sure you are 100% ready. Okay, let's start with the absolute fundamentals. Before you even think about writing a single letter, you have to know these golden rules. And trust me, these aren't just polite suggestions, they're the bedrock of professional communication that your examiners will be specifically looking for. Think of these 8 points as your personal checklist for every single letter. Is the info 100% correct? Is the language simple and polite? This isn't just about good manners. It's about building trust with shareholders and, crucially, following the law. One little mistake could cause huge legal headaches or really hurt the company's image. Get these 8 points down, and you're already well on your way to a great score. So, we've got the rules down pat, but when do you actually use them? Well, a company secretary writes to members in a bunch of key situations. Let's take a look at the most critical ones you've got to know for your exam. Every one of these is a big deal for a shareholder. But for your exam, there are 2 that are super important because they're all about the company distributing its profits. You guessed it, the payment of a dividend and the issue of bonus shares. So let's break those 2 down right now. Okay, first up, the dividend letter. This is a total classic when it comes to exam questions. It's a formal letter that, let's be honest, every shareholder is pretty happy to get. Your job is to make sure that letter is absolutely perfect. So, what's the whole point of this letter? It's simple. It's to officially tell a shareholder about the dividend that was approved, usually at the big annual general meeting, and to give them their payment. And here's a key fact to remember. The company must send out that dividend within 30 days of declaring it. This letter is a huge part of that process. Right, so how does the money actually get to the shareholder? There are 2 main ways you need to know. You've got the old school way, a dividend warrant, which is pretty much a special kind of check that comes in the mail. And then you've got the modern way, electronic payment. That's where the money zips straight into their bank account through systems like ECS or NEFT. Now this is pure gold for your exam prep. Just look at this table. These are the details you absolutely positively have to include. You've got the folio number, number of shares, the warrant number, and then the money breakdown, the gross dividend, any tax deducted at source, that's TDS, and the final net dividend they actually get. Seriously, memorize these columns. They're the building blocks for a perfect answer. All right, let's switch gears to our next key document, the letter about issuing bonus shares. This is another major corporate event, and you guessed it, a favorite topic for examiners. The big difference here is we're not talking about cash, we're talking about giving shareholders more shares. So what exactly are bonus shares? Well, they're fully paid up shares that are given to existing shareholders completely free of charge. A company does this to reward its shareholders without actually spending any cash. It's basically turning its profits into more share capital. That's why it has that fancy name, capitalization of profits. You'll definitely want to remember that term. And just like the dividend letter, the details here are everything. This table shows you what needs to be in a modern bonus share letter, especially now that most shares are held electronically in a demat account. You have to include the number of shares they already have, how many new bonus shares they're getting, and then all those critical demat details, the DPID and client ID, plus the exact date the shares will show up in their account. This is how you show the examiner you really know your stuff. Whew! We've covered a lot of ground. We've gone over the core principles, and we've picked apart 2 of the most important letters. So now, let's pull everything together into a simple, clear checklist you can use for your revision. Think of this as your final game plan for this chapter. Here it is. It all comes down to 4 simple steps. 1. Master those 8 golden rules of correspondence. 2. Know the specific situations that call for a letter. 3. Memorize the key pieces of data for both the dividend and bonus share letters we just covered. And 4.
And this is the most important one: practice. Get those specimen letters from your textbook and actually write them out. There is absolutely no substitute for practice.
So we've walked through the theory, the structure, and all the critical details you need to know. You've now got the blueprint for drafting letters that are going to really impress your examiners. The only thing left to do is put in the practice. Good luck with your studies, and thanks for joining me.